Today our topic is how to become mentally indestructible with Stoicism. Stoicism is an ancient philosophy that teaches us how to stay strong and calm in the face of challenges. It is not about avoiding emotions or pretending everything is fine. It is about understanding what we can control and what we cannot, and focusing our energy on the things that truly matter. Life is full of ups and downs, and sometimes it feels like the world is against us. But Stoicism gives us tools to handle these situations with grace and strength. The first step to becoming mentally indestructible is to accept that we cannot control everything. Many people waste their time and energy trying to change things that are outside their control. For example, we cannot control the weather, other people's opinions, or unexpected events. But we can control how we react to these things. This is the core idea of Stoicism. Focus on what is within your power and let go of the rest. When we stop worrying about things we cannot change, we free ourselves from unnecessary stress and anxiety. The second step is to practice gratitude. Stoics believe that we should appreciate what we have instead of always wanting more. It is easy to focus on what we lack, but this only leads to dissatisfaction and unhappiness. By taking time to reflect on the good things in our lives, we can cultivate a sense of contentment and peace. For example, instead of complaining about a difficult day at work, we can be grateful for having a job that provides for our needs. Gratitude helps us see the positive side of life, even in tough situations. It reminds us that we already have enough to be happy. Another important Stoic practice is to prepare for challenges. Life is unpredictable, and bad things will happen. But instead of being caught off guard, we can train ourselves to handle adversity with resilience. The Stoics called this premeditatio malorum, which means the premeditation of evils. This involves imagining the worst-case scenarios and thinking about how we would respond. For example, if you are worried about losing your job, imagine what you would do if it actually happened. Would you find another job? Would you cut back on expenses? By mentally preparing for difficulties, we reduce the fear and uncertainty that come with them. This does not mean we should dwell on negative thoughts, but rather that we should be ready to face whatever life throws at us. Stoicism also teaches us to focus on the present moment. Many of our worries come from thinking too much about the past or the future. We regret things we cannot change or fear things that may never happen. But the present moment is the only time we truly have control over. By staying focused on the here and now, we can avoid unnecessary stress and make better decisions. For example, if you are working on a project, give it your full attention instead of worrying about the deadline or what others might think. When we live in the present, we are more productive, calm, and mindful. Another key Stoic principle is to separate facts from opinions. Often our suffering comes not from the events themselves, but from how we interpret them. For example, if someone insults you, it is not the insult that hurts you, but your belief that it is important. By recognizing that our thoughts and judgments are within our control, we can choose how to respond to any situation. The Stoics called this the discipline of assent, which means learning to question our automatic reactions and decide whether they are reasonable. For instance, if you fail at something, instead of thinking I am a failure, you can remind yourself that failure is a natural part of learning and growth. This shift in perspective can make a big difference in how we handle setbacks. Stoicism also emphasizes the importance of self-discipline. To become mentally strong, we need to train our minds just like we train our bodies. This means practicing habits that build resilience, such as setting goals, staying focused, and avoiding distractions. It also means being willing to endure discomfort and hardship. The Stoics believe that by facing challenges head-on, we become stronger and more capable. For example, if you are afraid of public speaking, you can practice speaking in front of others until it becomes easier. By pushing ourselves out of our comfort zones, we build confidence and mental toughness. One of the most powerful Stoic practices is to reflect on our mortality. This might sound depressing, but it is actually a way to appreciate life and live more meaningfully. The Stoics believe that remembering our own impermanence helps us prioritize what truly matters. When we realize that our time is limited, we are less likely to waste it on trivial things. For example, instead of holding grudges or chasing material possessions, we can focus on building relationships and pursuing our passion. Reflecting on death also helps us accept the inevitable and let go of fear. It reminds us that everything in life is temporary, and that we should make the most of the time we have. Stoicism also teaches us to be kind and compassionate. While it is important to stay strong and resilient, we should not become cold or indifferent. The Stoics believe that we are all connected, and that helping others is a key part of living a good life. By showing empathy and understanding, we not only improve the lives of those around us, but also find greater fulfillment in our own lives. For example, if someone is going through a tough time, you can offer support instead of judging them. Kindness and compassion are signs of strength, not weakness. Finally, Stoicism encourages us to live in accordance with nature. This means accepting our place in the world and striving to live virtuously. The Stoics believe that the highest good is to live a life of wisdom, courage, justice, and self-control. By aligning our actions with these virtues, we can find true happiness and peace. For example, instead of seeking fame or wealth, we can focus on being honest, fair, and kind. Living virtuously does not mean being perfect, but rather making an effort to do the right thing, even when it is difficult. In conclusion, becoming mentally indestructible with Stoicism is about developing a strong and resilient mindset. It is about accepting what we cannot control, practicing gratitude, preparing for challenges, staying present, separating facts from opinions, exercising self-discipline, reflecting on mortality, showing kindness, and living virtuously. These principles may seem simple, but they require consistent practice and effort. The more we apply Stoic teachings to our lives, the more we can handle adversity with calm and strength. Life will always have its challenges, but with Stoicism, we can face them with confidence and grace. Remember, the goal is not to avoid difficulties, but to grow stronger through them. By embracing Stoicism, we can become mentally indestructible and live a life of purpose and fulfillment.